works from backyard sprinklers, greenhouses to large municipal jobs, kind of do everything. Probably the biggest thing that stands out, we do full design work for anyone we're working for. So if you are kind of new to irrigation and you just know you want to put the drip system down, pretty much just provide us with your water source, how far you're looking to irrigate and what you're irrigating, and someone will design that all for you. I just thought I'd talk about the different drips that we sell, because there's a couple different options depending on what you want to do. So the Aries is, I guess I got samples too, but the thickest drip line we sell. It's available in either 6 or 12-inch spacing, and it's going to be a 35 mil. So it's, like I said, it's the thickest wall spacing. You should get a few years use out of it. It's a non-pressure compensating drip. So the limitations with non-pressure compensating are usually any difference in terrain and row lengths. So the longer the row length, the more you're going to want to use pressure compensating drip, just so you have a uniform water on your crop all the way through. But as like Maurice was saying, he only has like 300-foot rows, so you can get away definitely with non-pressure compensating. That way. Streamline is another option. It's kind of what we usually recommend to people that are kind of unsure if they're going to like drip. It's the cheapest and it's also the thinnest. So it's only 8 mil thick. It's pretty flexible, bendable. It's kind of only made to be used for one season. Kind of use it and toss away after. It's usually not a whole lot left of it after the year. The other thing with it is you have to run at lower pressure, obviously. Lower burst pressure, lower burst rating. So usually want to stay at 6 to 14 psi. But it does work well in sandy soils. We found just a little bit easier to put in, and yeah, just kind of put it in there. It's commonly used for berries, so I thought we should talk about that as well. Most popular drip for sure is, like I was saying, like the pressure compensating 35 mil. So it's gonna give you, like I said, most uniform water dispersion, and yeah, should get a few years out of it. And require, I guess, scenarios with any kind of slope or grade. So this is a newer kind of product I want to talk about. It kind of replaces having to pump hose in lay flat for your header lines. It's a flex net, so it comes with the pre-assembled, right from the factory, half-inch thread to thread your fittings right into. So obviously you should get a lot less leaks, more durable than having you be the one that punches your own holes. Yeah, it's same thing essentially, just thicker, and comes with the work done for you. It saves a lot of labor. Filtering drip system. A lot of times we have someone that buys drip systems off us, and then they come back and complain it wasn't working. They usually took a screen filter instead of a mesh disc filter. So this is good if you live in town and you have treated water ready without any organics going through. You can get away with this, but anytime you're dealing with well water, dugout water, anything like that, you pretty much need to have a disc filter. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You have a lot more opportunity to catch potentially clogging contaminants in your line than with just a single screen. So yeah, just something I want to point out. We get a lot of complaints with drippers being clogged, and that's usually the reason why.
Are you okay if we ask questions as you go?
Yeah, for sure.
On the different types of drip tape that you went through, is there certain ones that you'd recommend that would be buried and others that could be laid on top?
I mean, people bury every one I went through there, but like I said, the 8 mil, it's a lot thinner, right? It's not as strong. So if you're not going to bury one, I would say probably don't bury the 8 mil stuff, but 35 mil, absolutely. You can bury that, for sure. So probably one of the biggest reasons people are interested in drip is obviously to irrigate through it. Yeah, that's. think everyone in this room probably understands what I mean by fertigation, but obviously you're able to apply nutrients directly to your plant right where it needs to be. So how do you do that? Probably the most common would be the Mozzie here and the mix right. These are kind of more for those huge greenhouses in BC and southern Alberta. So how the tray works, it's basically a siphon effect where it takes the pressure difference between here and here, creates a suction effect that applies your nutrients. And the mix rate is essentially works the same as the Venturi, but it's all a pressure pressure-driven operation. These can get pretty big, like up to 110 gallons per minute, and you can utilize them for multiple rows as opposed to that inline one where you're limited to one row for the injector.
So what would you use for, let's say, strawberry field, and you have like a zone of like 2 acres or something?
Probably one of these, yeah. I doubt you'd do more than 110 gallons per minute through that, so one of those would do good. Probably just gonna skip this. Again, it's just kind of a higher tech version of the same thing we talked about, but higher volume. Okay, water conservation. Just a few things I thought I'd bring up. People are planning to use too much water. What kind of sprinklers are you using? Are you wasting water with an old brass impact sprinkler that's incredibly non-efficient? Are you over-irrigating? Do you need a timer? Are you utilizing extra water in your yard by draining it properly? And are you keeping your dugout water healthy? It's kind of like what I talked about. There's a lot more efficient ways to go than those brass sprinklers. They use a ton of water. These Nelsons were kind of created to be a direct replacement for impact sprinkler, and they fight the wind quite a bit better as well. Yeah, they come with road guards, so you're able to kind of manipulate where exactly you want the water. As a brass sprinkler, you can also manipulate that as well. Yes?
Those sprinklers, are they, you use them with the flex net, right?
Yep.
That's how you, not, because the brass ones would be on aluminum pipe, right?
Yeah, sure, yep.
And then the other ones, you'd have to buy the flex net to lay it out.
Not necessarily. There is people that just put those on fence posts as well. You just get a 4x4 and run it up to it. But yeah, pretty common to run it out of there. Yeah.
On your previous slide, sorry, it said VFD.
Yes.
I didn't catch, what is that?
It's a variable frequency drive. So that'd be for your pump. That's like a pump controller.
Okay.
So that's basically just an on-off for your pump. You can set it for, your pump's not going to exceed this much. Once you fill this tank, it kicks it off. It's basically a pump controller.
Okay.
So the Nelson ones,
Yep.
can you actually replace, like what's the fitting on the bottom
Yeah,
of
it's
that?
1/2 inch nail thread, so it's a direct replacement for the brass ones. Yep.
You mentioned about keeping your dugout healthy. Do you do anything with that? Or
Yeah, I'll get into that.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah,
Can I
there's
find that?
we have a new system we're using here quite a bit. It's pretty neat. I have some pretty cool pictures on my phone actually.
You just need Kelsey.
So we're here, I guess. So nano bubbles, that's kind of what we have pivoted to. We still sell aeration, but found aeration's pretty flawed, and it kind of only works for some people. It's not the most effective way I think we can go about it. Nano bubbles is essentially it's a machine that it's gonna be 4-inch inlet, 4-inch outlet. It constantly cycles about 350 gallons per minute of your dugout water, and injects with the nano bubbling. So nano bubbles, like as you can see, 500 times smaller than a grain of salt. I don't really understand the science behind it. I've just seen the results of it. But so basically, the nano bubbling, when the muck from your dugout comes into the nano bubbling, it pulls the bacteria out of it, replaces it with healthier bacteria, effectively destroying the muck in your dugout. And then over time, the less muck you have, the less bacteria that's going to grow in forms of algae and whatnot that way. that's basically what it said. So cleaner dugout means cleaner drip lines.
So that's just, oh, you're gonna show here with it's the lines.
Yeah.
Trying to dugout.
Yeah, so like you say, you need a intake and a discharge, and it's just constantly just pulling water in and out. You need to have your intake about 4 feet away from your discharge, just so you're not constantly pulling the same water back in. And yeah, the muck is a source for algae. We do so by promoting aerobic bacteria, by getting oxygen to muck layer. We do this by the emolier pump. And yeah, I just want to test the results we've had.
Are people moving to this because, like bluestone coming out of favor, or the biologicals?
I don't know. It's kind of like
Ghana?
one of those things where it's like, that's kind of the best technology we had at the time with bluestone. And this is kind of becoming something that seems to be working for more people. Like, I don't know. I think dugout treatment's kind of a very hit or miss thing to sell, right? Like, we've had some really good success with aeration, and then we've had some people who are just, we can't figure out why it's not working for them, right?
Just we have these discussions all the time with drip tape and
Yeah.
cleaning filters and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Do you have an estimate, like cost per square foot to install a system, or do you have to have electricity? Like, what are some
Yeah,
of
you
the
need
requirements?
electricity. Yeah, I'll show you the unit here in a second. Yeah, it does need 460. So that is a drawback. Yeah, it's kind of maybe not something that's feasible for a small operation, but I mean ultimately it seems to work really well when we have installed it. Just saying how it nanobubbles are breaking down that film that comes on your piping. And obviously the best case result would be less backwashing and less clogging. So that's the unit itself there. That's Huddersfield Colony in Alberta. So they use their dugout for like drinking water, everything. So this little guy was very important to them. They claimed it was a very earthy taste with their water, just because like I say, the muck built up on their plumbing. And then this guy was installed, and yeah, their water's pretty glacier looking now.
So maybe this is more volume wise, like we have these irrigation ponds that the
Yeah.
potato growers use.
Yeah,
It's that size that this is.
probably this is like they do make a smaller one.
Yeah.
We haven't received that product line yet, but I kind of want to just put the technology out there, like
Yeah.
because there is going to be a smaller, more
Economical.
economical version coming.
That'd be good.
And then I guess the other thing I want to touch on is traveling hose reels. Very popular seller for us. This is at a baseball field, a small town I did this year. A little more flexible in drip. You can kind of wheel it around your yard and hit wherever you need to hit with it. There's no motor on board or anything. It's just a water-driven turbine. So if you're giving this thing about 100 psi, you just pull up the sprinkler that's on the end of this reel, and it walks itself back in. You're able to adjust the time, amount of water flow you're putting out, and it's all very customizable, right? How much water you want to put down over what amount of time. Our smallest one is capable of putting down about an acre, or covering about an acre per pole. It's about 400 feet on there, 1.5-inch line. And they get huge, they get up to 6-inch and whatnot, but these are pretty sweet for even dust control and that kind of stuff. There's a farm out in Saskatchewan, they just wanted their customers when they're coming to pick raspberries actually, they're used to using it to keep the dirt, or the dirt down, or the mud, dust down. So they're pretty versatile. But yeah, it's another thing, if you need to get a quick shot of water down, might be something that's worth your time. That's all I had.
That's good.
I'm not usually a presentation guy, but I thought I'd give it a go. I'm the one that's passionate about getting a store up in Manitoba, so I want it to come out. But yeah, any questions?
I do have a couple. Yeah, the flex net.
Mhm.
What's the lifespan, and like we usually do things in one strawberry cycle, right? Like
Yep.
establishment, 3 years of picking, and then we
Yep.
throw things out.
Yep.
Is that what it's calibrated for? Or?
I've heard 5 years.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's like anything. How nice to it are you, right?
Okay.
I no problem driving a quad or a side by side or something like that over it. But yeah.
I drive over it not pressurized.
Yeah.
Would you drive over it with pressure on it? Probably not a good idea.
Probably not a great idea.
Okay, good.
No.
I don't.
Yeah,
And
mental note.
yeah, no kidding. I don't. Yeah.
It's more expensive than this stuff. So you're gonna drive over it, may as well drive over that stuff.
Any recycling programs or anything available for the drip line?
Oh, that's a good question.
Locally, we don't. I was
Yeah.
hoping through the baler, the net wrap and stuff.
Yeah.
It's something. I don't know if you ever heard anything.
That's
or-
a good question. I've never been asked that. No, not to my knowledge, there isn't. But
Okay. With the filters, they get plugged over time or whatever. I use muriatic acid. I think it's in one of the videos.
yeah,
Do you have a rule of thumb on how often to do it, or just when you feel it's the right time? Or
yeah, not really because everyone plugs up at different amounts of
Okay.
time, right? Like, yeah,
So-
not really. It's kind of
like a pressure gradient or anything like that, or it's just
like a
when it
pressure
comes-
differential. You're saying?
Well, that's to clean it too, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of okay, but a couple once a year.
I've talked to guys that say they have to do it once a month. So if
Oh,
once
yeah,
a
okay.
year, you're probably okay. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. Thank you.
Anything else?
On the, for any of the above ground stuff, do you
Mhm.
guys carry any of the traditional gaskets or anything like
Oh,
that
yeah.
for the
we
latch,
we
for
have a
latch
pretty
and
full
hook?
store like plumbing shop as well. So any kind of PVC, cam lock. Like I say, we
Like the
really,
old, like the latch and hook aluminum?
Oh yeah, yeah, we got good stock and all that kind of stuff for sure.
We had bought some aluminum pipes that I didn't have the right fitting for. I bought 2 different styles. And I got Southern Irrigation actually make me custom fittings for our aluminum parts. So they don't do it right there. I think they had to send it to BC. And
Lethbridge would be.
Lethbridge maybe?
Yeah.
They were really good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much anything cold water, we'll have it. So yeah,
Okay.
That's a good motto.
it's yeah. There's a better motto would say if it runs through it on it, or if it runs through it or on it, we got it or something. Like that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm around all day.